All right, and go ahead real quick. I was gonna wait, but go ahead. Give us what you thought about the fight, all that good stuff. I'm a crush whatever you say. So,
I don't know if it's considered running. The guy moved a lot, man, a lot. All credit to Regis. He gave him props for the knockdown in the first round because I was like, it definitely was a knockdown. It was a punch. Regis has to do better at cutting off the ring, especially if you're going to fight Devin Haney.
Yeah,
and I think that's something he realized he needs to work on going into a fight. Hopefully that's next with Devin Haney. Performances like that, Chris, Shawn, y'all both know. Sometimes you can lure in who you really wanted. Yeah. That's the thing about that performance.
That's the thing about that performance.
That's what I'm kind of like. I'm not even going to lie.
Yep. It's a good thing.
Haney, everybody talking about him now.
Yeah.
So, and we know at the end of the day, we know what Regis can do. We've seen him in there at the peak and just change styles. What this guy was last week, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I think it was like 3.5 weeks. He had a little bit of time. Yeah. But still, that's not a lot for a world title fight.
Yeah, and the guy's style is very ugly for Regis.
It's terrible.
I commentated that guy back in 2021. I commentated I'm that guy, Danielito Zorrilla. I commentated him. And so I knew that he was going to be on the move. Remember, I wasn't even watching the fight. Yeah. And I text you, I say, he probably ain't doing nothing but moving on Regis. And you say, yeah, he not engaging. He got him at first. That first round when he felt Regis' power. And then in the third round when Regis dropped him, he got back to what he normally does. Back in 2021 when I commentated him, he was moving around the ring. All of the film on him was him moving, outboxing guys, being slick, being fast, being sharp. And then he made some adjustments, went toe-to-toe with Barboza. And this is the thing that people don't realize. If you don't promote Danielito Zorrilla, but we seen the big performance from Regis Prograis, we looking at this like, oh, this is a rollover fight, on to the next. And then when he struggles, everybody's like, oh, Regis ain't this, Regis ain't that. No, that guy was all of that. And he didn't know because he couldn't find nothing on him. The last thing he was able to look at 3 weeks before a fight is a fight of him going toe-to-toe. So that's what they prepared for, you know?
If styles make fights. I mean, Zorrito, I didn't expect him to fight that kind of fight. Also, and to your point, I expected Regis to be able to cut off the ring better because he's been able to do that in the past. He's actually good at that, Regis. And he wasn't that night. I don't know if it was because of the length, because Zorrito, he's long, he's tall. He's got a kind of like a gangly body to him. His knee, the way he moves his legs, he doesn't have the greatest footwork, but he does have long arms. He throws punches from kind of strange angles, and he can crack.
I was going to say,
right away.
Like, let's keep it real. He caught Regis in the first round.
Yeah, so he hurt Barboza bad in the 10th round. Yeah. In the final round, he had Barboza in a lot of trouble. He didn't do nothing that whole night, but at the end of the fight, he had Barboza in a lot of trouble the whole round. So the guy's not bad. He just chose a certain style. But listen, he could punch, and he cracked Prograis early, and
even
he
from
recovered.
That standpoint, even from that standpoint, when you talk about cutting off the ring, that means you're going to the fire. You know what I mean? Yep. So we want him to cut off the ring, make this a fight, make this dude fight, stop him from running all this and that. Also, he has to respect the power that Danielito had in the fight, So I felt like stylistically, and I got the answer. I already knew that it was probably just too late for them to really prepare for him and see everything that he was going to bring to the ring. But beyond that, you just he was a replacement fight. This wasn't the way this fight was supposed to look. The style matchup that the matchmakers made was for a toe-to-toe battle, and now they have to find just who can we get in the ring with this Rigorou, you know what I mean? And they found this guy, and it wasn't a good fight for TV. I thought he got the job done. I thought the split decision made sense, and he gets to move on. And to your point, this was one of those fights where you didn't look too good and you didn't look too bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Well, he left the ring with his title. He left the ring with his title, and a lot of questions of people that would be like, "Hey, I'll fight that guy."
Yeah.
After that performance, I'll fight that guy.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst thing in the world. He retains his title. He gets to move on to get another big fight. He's got the right mindset that he wants to go back to the gym and work. So also the Liam Powell, he was a southpaw, so he had been preparing for a southpaw.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So that's another thing. You got a last one replacement who's an opposite side, very, very different style of fighter, not a puncher. Parrow's not a puncher. Zorrilla is a legit puncher. So yeah, it's a lot of changes happen, and even in terms of his style that he chose to use that night, Danielito. So
Chris, here's the other thing, Chris, that people don't truly understand. This was a ugly night for Regis, and he looked off. And while people are saying he's not this, he's not that, oh, Haney gonna get him, this guy gonna get him, all this and that, take a look at Vasily Lomachenko versus Jermaine Ortiz. Mm-hmm. Vasily did not look like the Vasily of old. And Jermaine Ortiz, I think, came to the ring with much more than people knew he was going to come to the ring with. That is promotional. That is the fault of the promotion. With this fight right here with Danielito, there wasn't much you could do to promote him short notice. Sure enough. But with Jermaine Ortiz, outside of beating Mikey Garcia, we really didn't know what he had. And so when he comes to the ring and he really challenges Vasily, everybody's saying Lomachenko ain't got it no more. It ain't that Lomachenko ain't got it no more. It's just that we didn't know what that guy had. And now we just found out that guy's a really good boxer.
And there was other information that was left out of that. Jermaine Ortiz, and he was a former sparring partner of Lomachenko. And Lomachenko's got a style that's so difficult to prepare for. I always said that when I fought Pacquiao. I was like, the hardest part about fighting Pacquiao was trying to prepare for Pacquiao. Because you can't find sparring partners like him. Yeah. You can't find sparring partners like Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah. So Jermaine Ortiz had already had that experience. He had already spent 10, 20, 30 rounds with this very, very difficult style to prepare for. He knew what was in front of him. Yeah. Also, he's way bigger. Jermaine Ortiz is a big, big lightweight. He's young. He's hungry. This is his opportunity of a lifetime. Lomachenko's coming off a long layoff. When you add it all up, it makes sense. And to your point, Jermaine Ortiz is actually a very good fighter. So a lot of people look at Lomachenko like you're saying, like, oh well, he's shot now. Obviously not.
But the point is that the promotion for that fight was all for Lomachenko. The promotion wasn't for a great fight, which is what we got. The promotion wasn't for a competitive fight. That's what we got. The promotion was for Lomachenko's coming back, and here's Ortiz, and we're looking forward to putting Haney together. That wasn't the way the fight should have been promoted. If you promote this to us in terms of this being a competitive fight, then all of a sudden we know what to expect. Nobody knew what to expect from Danielito. Again, the short notice for that one, but I got another one. Teofimo Lopez when he fought Sandor Martin.
Yep.
Nobody expected that fight to be competitive because the promotion didn't promote the fight to be competitive. They promoted everything about the takeover and everything about Teofimo Lopez. Then he gets in the ring and the fight's competitive. He won. I thought he won the fight. Very, very close and very, very much so could have gone the other way. But if you promote it to us that this is going to be a really competitive and interesting fight, then nobody's surprised. Then nobody's looking at the other guy like, oh, he ain't got it no more. What did Teofimo look like against Josh Taylor? Nobody expected that. Mm-hmm. But that's your fault. You didn't tell us what Sandor Martin had, and we expect him to just go in the ring and roll over Martin, and he doesn't, and now we're all saying, oh, no, he ain't got it. And there's so many troubles outside of the ring, he ain't going to be able to put it together. Promote these fights to us and let us know that these fights are going to be competitive. Give us a reason to watch. The promotion never give us a reason to watch these fights.
You know how it is, man. It's what have you done for you? What have you done for me lately in this sport?
You're
only as good as your last fight. We've all been raked over the coals for a bad performance here and there, and then come on to have the biggest fight of our careers up until that point. I remember I was getting interviewed in Vegas before the Canelo Bivol fight, or Bivol Canelo now, and they were asking me like, what this what can he do? And I was like, what do you mean? What can he do? This is a real fight. Like he's got a really tough style for Canelo to deal with. He's very good at it being in and out. Because I worked the corner versus Bivol. I was in the corner of Sullivan Barrera when he fought Bivol for his title a bunch of years ago, and I saw how good that man was firsthand. I'm this close to the ring, and I'm like, this guy's a problem.
Yeah.
And so when people are trying to tell me that, Canelo's going to walk over him, I was like, I don't see that at all. You guys are promoting Canelo, not the Canelo versus Bivol fight, just like you said. Yeah. You gotta sell fights, not people.
So all that to say, just like you said, Regis done fought himself into some more great fights. because he didn't look.
He fought himself into some money.
He didn't look too good.
Yeah,
but he also didn't look too bad.
No, he didn't look too bad.
And he got the win.
And I want everybody to know, like, hey, what you saw the other night was a product of a fighter having more than you knew that he had. And also a product of, again, this guy fighting at home, handling everything, don't need to be handling none of that. And he said to himself, I ain't going back home. I love home, but I can't fight there. That's not for me. Let Anthony Joshua fight. You keep fighting in England. I'm not fighting at home. I respect it.